Welcome to the eForex Video EFX series. Today's guest is Gil Mendelzies of Triana, who will be discussing the automation of FX trade processing with the Harmony Network. Gil, Triana's Harmony Network for post-trade processing connects almost every large bank, ECN, and buy-side firm in FX. How did Harmony become so broadly supported in the FX industry?
Well, first of all, good afternoon, and thank you for taking the time to hear our perspective. We certainly built a significant network. We don't have nearly everybody that we would like to do, but we're working very hard on it. I think the key to our success to date has been, can be attributed to several factors. The first one is we really have partnered with the key leaders in the industry, starting from the key foreign exchange prime brokers and the leading banks, but also partnered with the large electronic platforms and over time key and leading buy-side firms and retail aggregators. The second thing was we've taken a very aggressive and unconservative approach in terms of our approach to STP. We have not waited for standards to emerge. We did not limit the participants to the standards for STP. We basically approach anybody and everybody in the industry saying, just give us what you got and we're going to work with that within reason by way of file formats or ability, naming conventions or what have you. When we've started, obviously we were very lucky that we're operating in foreign exchange prime brokerage, which was an industry that has grown so rapidly. And within it, we've built our network on very robust and scalable technology. In essence, the same technology that was able to process tens of tickets a day, just almost a decade ago, is processing tens of thousands tickets an hour, and is capable of processing about 1 million tickets an hour. So we've provided with very scalable and very robust technology. And finally, the company has been continuously innovating, adding more and more products on top of the messaging, which if it wasn't enough for people just messaging initially to join, they've joined because of the netting capabilities or because of reconciliation or because of limit checking. So we're continuously innovating and adding to the network, asking the participants both on the network and off the network what they would like to use, and we're continuously building it together with them.
What are the key functionalities offered by Triana Harmony and the advantages it brings to banks, clients, and ECNs linking to it?
Basically, Harmony started by providing automation and STP in places that didn't exist before, namely in the world of give-up and reverse give-up messages in the prime brokerage context. But after we've had those pipes in place and we're able to consolidate all of those, all of this flow that has been growing significantly over time, we started providing additional value-added services, and with the idea being that you take all of those specific functionalities that are being done across the network by a variety of players, by a variety of partners, by a variety of vendors, and you're able to consolidate them into one place where everybody's looking at the same system, everybody's looking at the same network, and it reduces significantly the costs. As a result of that, the point where a trade is given up has become the point where the trade is confirmed. It has become the point where the limit or the credit is being checked vis-a-vis this specific trade and this specific counterparty. It became the point where the trade is being allocated, and so on and so forth. As a result of that, as I said before, each time we're adding this piece of functionality, more and more players are coming in, bringing in their own counterparties, who in turn are asking for additional functionality. So basically the goal and basically the progress is towards providing a full automation of the trade life cycle, starting from basically post-execution all the way through the confirmation cycle. And with the partnership that we now have with CLS, it would actually fit it into the settlement cycle at CLS to complete the process end-to-end.
You began your business in FX prime brokerage, and obviously that market has grown enormously. Why has PB grown so much faster than the broader FX market?
So a very big change started, I think, in the sort of around the turn of the century, with FX starting to be traded much more as an asset class on its own, as opposed to the way people mostly behaved beforehand, which is FX was used for hedging purposes only. With that, basically the hedge funds started looking for a prime broker, and after hedge funds started and trading FX as an asset class on its own, with that came the electronic platforms that enabled the type of trading that basically exists in the futures world and otherwise, where the prime brokers became really the clearers of foreign exchange. With that, and after that, that enabled the introduction of both retail clients as well as the algorithmic players into the market, and they came with massive amounts of flow and massive amounts of tickets into the industry. All of this was enabled by foreign exchange prime brokerage, and actually then reinforced the growth of foreign exchange prime brokerage and foreign exchange prime brokerage technology and platform providers into the industry. And even nowadays, more and more participants, such as asset managers and some of the even corporate clients, are looking to get into either algorithmic execution, or because of recent credit events, are looking for more concentration around the quality credit, which drives them to a prime brokerage model. So overall, the last decade has been pushing a lot of flow and a lot of clients into the prime brokerage model, and this is something that we obviously have enjoyed greatly and benefited from, but also anticipate is going to continue in the years to come.
How has Triana broadened its offering to harness these trends?
So clearly we've been trying our best to put our money where our mouth is, and clearly we believe in these trends, and we're trying to supply tools that are going to both leverage and enable others to leverage and be successful in this growing market. It started obviously with putting an investment in the foreign exchange prime brokerage flows way before anybody thought this market is going to be significant, and we've put the investment and we're able to leverage the growth when it came in. It continues to evolve. But beyond that, we're continuously looking at two major bottlenecks in the industry. One was cost and the other one was capacity. A few years back, we were looking at those trends. It became apparent to us, and we've heard from the clients, from our clients, that the cost per ticket in the foreign exchange industry is way too high, and that capacity is going to become a significant bottleneck, and building additional massive capacity for those very small tickets is just not going to be justifiable. And as a result of that, we've launched a couple of years back both our NetLink client application, which has been very successful in the context of retail tickets and algo tickets and is being used by a variety of banks, as well as our joint venture with CLS that was recently announced to aggregate the interdealer tickets. Both of these basically reduce dramatically the cost, the effective cost per ticket, as well as grow massively the effective capacity that the banks have and that the industry has. In addition to that, limits and real-time credit monitoring has been obviously a bigger concern with growing volumes, with a massive growth in volumes, both in terms of number of tickets and then the overall just notional size of trades in the the overall trading in the market. And we've been providing tri-party limits monitoring solutions to the industry, and it's being widely used now by top tier and second tier and third tier banks. With respect to the client base, the need for clients who are doing tens of thousands of tickets a day or more than that, in the case of retail, we're providing real-time reconciliation solutions with a variety of platforms, executing banks, prime brokers, and so on and so forth. So we have been investing massively in real-time solution that gets you closer to knowing that your trades are good in real time, knowing that your limits are good and that your counterparty's limits are good in real time, and then enable you to process those tickets in a fashion that's going to be very cheap and very scalable.